Oh, this is Transformation Tuesday, where I share from my own personal journey some of the progress that I'm seeing in my life. And today I want to talk about the automatic transformation, the automatic progress that's happening, where the things that I've been intentionally working on start to spread out into other areas and actually kind of surprised me. Now, my name is Sandra Allen Lovelace, and I am a transformation coach. I coach women who want to be whole, secure, and free. And today I'm excited because this is one of the really fun things that happens. Yes, this transformation journey does take intentionality and commitment and effort. Yes, it does. The results are incredible though. And this is a piece that, I don't know, I hope that it will encourage you, as I said, because automatic is kind of nice, right? Automatic benefits? Wow. I was asked to do this, by the way, by some of my clients, some of the women who follow along my material and so on. And let me give a little bit of background and then I'll share the automatic piece. I was working out at the gym, had an annual membership and was at it for a couple of years. And the commitment was mobility reasons. I don't have that sort of self-discipline, but it was either workout or give up really walking very much. So it was all about numbers. How much weight in each machine? How many sets? How many reps? What time did I need to leave the house in order to be able to get that all done and then walk 30 minutes at the end of it in order to get back and be ready for my day so that I could be at my desk at such and such a time? Yes, over a couple of years, it did, I did make adjustments here and there, but it was very much this particular time out of the garage, this particular time on these things, this particular time, and then back and so on through the day, carried on through the day. Well, I reached a point where that was not really accomplishing what needed to happen. And I had an accident and I needed some physical therapy. After some other care, I needed physical therapy. Now, the physical therapist, the person I'd been seeing before, was more of a trainer type. But the new physical therapist was really more about stretching and making sure the muscles were working correctly, because they weren't. They weren't sliding over each other very well in certain areas. And in other areas, they were bound up so tight they couldn't really extend and do their work properly. And so she began to train me in these stretching exercises. For a little while, I did some of each. But more and more, I began to realize that the stretching was so different that even though I was at the gym and I needed to stretch this part of my body and then that part of my body, and the idea wasn't just count to 3 or count to 10, it was more to lean into it and make sure that the stretch was effective. And that really played havoc with being able to stay on schedule. And I found, all right, well, I'm going to have to cut back on this. I'm going to have to cut back on that. I don't have time for 30 minutes of walking today in order to get to my desk in time. This is really too much. And the stress increased. The drivenness was now really over the top because I couldn't accomplish what I needed in my own set of expectations. Couldn't meet it. So then I started talking to the physical therapist and said, well, maybe does this stretch actually help improve a certain area better than weights and reps and sets? And she said, well, probably. Actually, probably. And the stretching was all foundational work. So for sure, it would improve those things, but I just couldn't maintain all of everything every day. It wasn't working. Slowly, I stepped back from some of the weight work, and then I began to realize as I was meeting with her on a regular basis that that work was really helping me in my everyday. So, for example, before I went to bed at night, I was still hitting the gym in the morning and trying to adjust this and adjust that. And then at the end of the day, I was at home and could do the stretching to my heart's content and accomplish everything that was needed in the exercises, the stretching she had laid out for me. So I was feeling that real sense of accomplishment, not only in the list of things, also the time. At the gym, it was taking me an hour and a half. And at home, the stretching exercises were 45 minutes or less. Of course, I wasn't doing the 30-minute walking, but that's all right because I was reaching my goals in a reasonable time, and I could set it when I was ready to unwind at the end of my day, not having to get back to be at my desk at a certain time. So the more I talked to the physical therapist, the more I realized I think that I need to back out of the gym because I'm actually working the muscles she's trying to repair. So I dropped out of my gym membership. I got a reimbursement for most of it. And really for the last several months, I have been concentrating on the stretching. And yes, I've been seeing progress in terms of the muscles functioning properly. But here's the really wonderful part. This woman who carries PTSD, yes, diagnosed, yes, who lived pretty much in survival mode most of her life, yes, with breaks here and there, yes, with a little bit less, but then really right back up, and strategies that I learned as a child that continued to be maintained. They started to weaken. They started to fall away. And so as I was stretching in the morning, I didn't have to keep my eye on the clock. And yes, certain things she said, now let's do 6 leg raises and so on. But it was also sort of like, oh, and I said, I really like this particular a hip stretch because my hips were tight too. That I lie on my back and move one of my legs up over like a number 4. I said, I really like that. And I noticed when I was there, I was making good progress on that stretching because it felt so good, because I was relaxed. The muscles were relaxing, and the right side that was injured was beginning to match up more closely with the left side. And I noticed those kind of changes throughout the stretching exercises. And I was beginning to take a 30-minute walk. I'm still not very consistent with that. But I noticed other things. Driving my car when I was going to physical therapy. When I first started all of those things, the doctor and all that, I would get in my car and set the GPS. Oh no, I'm only going to have 3 minutes to spare, or I'm going to be 3 minutes late. Oh no, I better call and tell him I'm late. And then because of the panic would hit, I can't stand being late. And it would connect with other things from my past. Like, I'm going to get yelled at. I'm going to get in trouble. I'm going to, whatever, would push that drivenness almost to panic mode, depending on how late I was. And I noticed one day that I was driving and not looking for the opening to get out and pass this car, or I can just do another 5 miles and I don't have to worry about it. It's not dangerous. I can, I'll go this other way. I wasn't doing that. I was getting in my car. Oh, I might be a few minutes late, but I'll be all right. And driving. And then when I realized it one day, I went, ooh, this is a change I hadn't planned on. This is something I'm enjoying, but I didn't put it on my list to practice. That intentionality hadn't been there, but the effect of the stretching, the switch from all of the intense exercises to the stretching was having a further impact, not just on my body, fixing and straightening things out in my body, but also in my physical body, but also in the emotions that I carry. We carry our emotions in our bodies. right? That's true. So my whole nervous system that had been driven at the beginning of every single weekday was calming down at the beginning of every weekday. And that was affecting how the rest of the day unfolded. And now that I've been into this, I think it's 3 months now, I am really feeling it in lots of different ways, very similar to that. The mind, the body, the spirit are a connection that really, the more we get them in line in a balanced way, in a peaceful, and then the peaceful aspect, the better we do. The better we do in ourselves, the better we relate to the world around us, the more calm our approach is in relationships. And really, the most essential one is our relationship with God. You know, He calls us to worship Him, to love Him with our mind, our body, our spirit. And that does best in that relationship too, when we're in balance. I hope that is an encouragement to you, because I love sharing it. I love sharing it with my clients. I love sharing it with women in general. So take it and ponder that about your own life. If there's any way that I can be a support to you, actually, you can find a lot more of my resources on YouTube, my YouTube channel, Sandra Allen Lovelace. But you can also reach out to me for some personal support. If you want more information in general, you can make a comment about that. You can also reach out to me for a 15-minute or so clarity call, which is complimentary, about where you are and where I might be able to come alongside and offer you my hand. As a matter of fact, I'm right here. Sandra Allen Lovelace. Have a great day.